Can you tell where the UFO is? The rain's not really going through it. I noticed on one side of the screen the rain goes all the way up and down, all the way to the ground. And on the other, it kind of gets stopped up there where you've seen the UFO before. Well, this is actually the other camera, but it sees up higher in the sky as well. You've seen the line there, so remember the line and where it was. I'm just above the tree. And you can see where that rain stops at. Most of it doesn't go through. The other rain goes all the way down to the ground. And I'm still seeing flashes up in there too. The reason the rain looks like light the same is because of my infrared lights that come off the cameras, and they act like a mirror. The raindrops act like a mirror, and so that's why they look like a little streak of light. So, and I'm telling you, it's raining. I'm not trying to make it something it's not, but look at where the rain is going through, and then where the rain's not. You can see right along here. There's it's hitting that shield. You can see a line all the way around it too, really, or a whole different area. I mean, yeah. Let me get my. Let's see. You can see this area here. It all looks different. I mean, it's all nice and smooth. You know, it's just different. The area in the very middle. The pattern isn't the same as the rest of the pattern. There's a digital noise, and I mean, I don't know if you can look in, but I can see into that digital noise, and you can see a shape, you know, that runs a boundary, and the digital noise where the UFO is smoother, and they're controlling that part really, they're throwing that projection out there, making it smoother than it really would be with electronics, and it's messing with the digital noise. Of course, some rain's going to come all the way onto one side of it, but you can see some rain is hitting it and being stopped. And you can see once it gets past it, then you'll see it return again sometimes too. So some of it's going. So I think that cloak extends off the ship also. Maybe 50 feet off of the ship, hiding that ship. Maybe it's not on just the skin. Maybe it's more of an atmospheric cloak, and that's what I was thinking before, because that's why I think it was able to bend the laser. So it's more of an atmospheric cloak. I went to Disney World, Disneyland. I don't know, Disney World, because it was in Florida, right? I think that's Disney World, but it's a place called Tower of Terror, and they have millions of lasers that meet, and they create these ghosts, and they look like real people, and yet you can see through them, but they don't. I mean, they look like they're real people standing there. So it's crazy. They can make holograms and everything, which means if you can make a hologram in the middle of space, of nothingness, right? And that's why I think they're using all of those different bugs and all those different nano things that fly around. I think that's their millions of laser, you know, sensors or whatever, and they're capable of creating an entire projection around their ship. And each one of those, I think, can probably have a little, you know, projection of their own that hides them on the skin of their ship. Because I've never seen anything really flying around out there too much with my eyes either. Just up in the clouds, you can see them, but not, I mean, the little bug things, not the little nano stuff. I've seen the ships up there, but I haven't seen nano ships yet. But I've seen some big ones. One of them was so big, when it turned around in place, like, you know, did a 180, like just turned around, and then it went like the other direction, right? Like it was facing towards me, and all of a sudden it just lit up and turned around. Well, when it turned around, on one side of the ship, the air in front of it was like a, I don't know, like a buffer kind of pattern, I guess. I don't know where I've seen that on sci-fi, I think, but it looked like that, and it. I don't know if you've ever seen any a ship. I'm sorry, an airplane, a jet go through the sound speed barrier, but it makes this cloud around the tip of the jet, and that's what this ship did. But it was sitting in place, and all it was doing was turning around. But it was making like this cloud thing break in front of the ship, so it just created it like that. It was really weird looking, and it just kind of went off and on as it was turning around. So as if the power they were using was somehow breaking that sound barrier without making sound though. It was really weird to see, and even weirder that it didn't make any sound. But it was huge. That thing was huge, and it has these two big giant bowls on both sides. On and then there's like a slender part that goes all the way down the center, and there's these wing, you know, the wings don't stick out very far at all, and it's just kind of long. It doesn't look like it could really fly, but it's flying on those bowls. They're upside down shaped bowls, and it was two of them, like salad bowls, you know. I don't know. I don't. And they were only half bowls. I mean, it wasn't like a whole ball. It was just the bottom part of a ball, you know, on each side of the ship. And I seen one coming towards me like that too, and it was the same kind of ship coming towards me. And as it was about a half a mile away, all of a sudden it just disappeared, still coming towards me. I mean, you could tell he turned his cloak on and just slowly disappeared. And then he was turning at the same time as he disappeared. So I hit my laser and just kind of went at the same speed that he was going, right? And he flashed a light after he got fully, I don't know, another 100 feet farther, and his cloak was already on, and you couldn't see him no more. Well, then he flashed his light at me. I don't know if that was some kind of acknowledgement or what, but yeah, I seen you. That's why I'm hitting my light on you. You're trying to hide, but I saw you. So I don't know. I'm sure that they know I'm watching them. Maybe they're trying to test things out just because I was able to pinpoint them with the laser for a while because it would make your laser shorter or longer. I mean, your laser is normally longer, but if you hit their ship, then it's shorter. If depending on how far away they are, right? The closer they are to you, the shorter your laser is. So, and that was a fact. I think it's doing that same thing with the rain there. There's other flashes in among that rain, but it's hard to see because of it. So, and there was no bugs either, which is kind of why I started the live stream. There was no bugs, and now there's bugs, and now the rain is being blocked. So I think they showed up about 9 o'clock. Let's see, we can go in closer. Sorry, that's not showing down far enough. There's the tree. You should recognize that place a little better. Go ahead and click. There's your full shot if you want that. I learned I had zoom on my security camera. I can go times 8. I thought that was kind of neat. And then you need to know where to pinpoint it. Right about by that tree, I think, is where we've been seeing them the most. Yeah, there's a couple of those drones. Oh, I'll just leave it right there. I do see the little lights, but I also see clouds, and so it's a little harder to see. There's a lot of clouds out there tonight. You can tell there's no stars. But they're still here under the clouds. So the ship is still out there. I'm gonna go back to the full screen. I guess I didn't realize when you shoot a screen, it shows the date, everything else backwards. That's interesting. Isn't that something? How the rain doesn't go through? That whole area right here, basically. Maybe a little lower too. Might have went a little thin on that. I would love to get in that ship. Just check it out. You know, I stood out there and thought that to him, tried to think it to him, right? Crazy, but you never know. Like, come on down, open up, give me a ride. I want to actually control it and fly it, you know? I can fly a plane, so let me fly your ship. Can't be much different. And then I was thinking to him, well, just do a fast maneuver, right? And it wasn't more than about 5 minutes later, there was a huge whoosh through the yard. And I don't know, it looked like a light kind of came through, a spotlight or something in a way. And then it was about 20 feet though, you know, a big circle, 20 feet. And it took me, I don't know, 2 seconds or so for my brain to understand what I had just seen, because it was literally like light speed, you know. But I heard this low tone at the same time as it rolled through, you know. And I'm quite sure that was one of their big orbs that are about 20 feet that they brought through. And I can't think of another reason other than that I had thought that to them, that I would like to see a fast maneuver. So I don't know. The AI on online with Elon Musk says that they can read our minds. So said it wouldn't be anything for them to read our narrow patterns and understand what we're thinking. That's scary. To think that just from seeing your signature, your brain signature with some sort of a microwave beam, right? X-ray, whatever, they could literally just read what you're thinking. All right. I think we're going on about 20 minutes here, so well, there's some interesting flashes out there, I'll tell you. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I think 20 minutes is probably more than the time than most people want to give. So I appreciate it if you've been with me. If anything really interesting actually happens, I'll film it and let you know. So, all right. Thanks for being with me.